It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. Hello, my fam, and everyone else. It is Perez, the queen of all media, the original influencer, internationally known journalist, and your number one source for everything It Ends With Us saga. As you may know, the cinematic terrorist issued a subpoena against me. I am currently fighting that subpoena in Nevada, where I live, where I work, where the subpoena was served, and where she herself listed as the place of compliance. Las Vegas is the appropriate venue to litigate this subpoena. My attempt to quash, her not attempt to compel. Because the basement manager has moved to compel me in New York. Just about as laughable as the subpoena itself. Amber Lively knows that I am a journalist, knows that the information she is seeking from me is privileged and protected. I am very well within my legal rights, and she also tried this move with other journalists, unsuccessfully. That journalist from the New York Post that the Gaslight Girl alum tried to get her sources from failed. The journalist from the Daily Mail that fakely tried to get his information, his sources revealed, failed. The courts have established that digital journalists have the same rights and protections as print or television journalists. As some of you might know as well, I am doing all of this pro se, without an attorney. That means I can get away with ridiculousness. I can get away with things that an attorney could not do or say publicly or to the judge. And I know that many or most of you might think I'm dumb, but I'm reminded of this phrase, a strategic hot mess. Everything that I do in every platform, in every avenue, in the court's docket, on my website, in my videos, on social media, everything is thought through. And I am fully well aware that this biased joke of a judge in New York might end up ruling on my motion to quash. It is a very real possibility that the judge in Las Vegas, though he should not, might kick it back to Judge Lyman in New York. And the worst case scenario, she gets everything that she's asking of me. She forces me to expose my sources. That would be a huge win for her and a huge loss for journalism. And a huge loss for everybody and the First Amendment. And you know that expression? Be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. And it may not be what you think or what you want it to be. Oh, chew on that. So, as I've told you all, I have been acting a fool on the court's docket because she dragged me into this mess, knowing she shouldn't have. Does she not know who she's dealing with? I've also been around 21 years and know the legal system very well. I also know the worst case scenario with this judge in New York being upset at me. He could sanction me. He could even put me in jail or fine me a lot of money. But the world is watching this, and I am representing myself pro se. And I'm behaving the way I am strategically. And I can't reveal all now, but What's this judge gonna do? Sue me for hurt feelings? No. Before the judge would hit me with a hammer, he would warn me. That is the proper protocol. Put me on notice first. And if he does that, I'm not, I might be dumb, but I'm not that dumb. I'll behave accordingly. I'll pivot. And a lot of content creators are mad at me because of the letters that I've submitted to the judge this week. And more letters today just hit the docket. I need to read these to you. And I want to respond to the content creators, a lot of whom I've had people tell me were talking about me and saying some not so nice things, but I'll save that bit and my response until after I share with you what I have requested, what I have said, and let's get into that. Four letters of mine just hit the docket. It's a good thing you're watching this video because they were uploaded into the docket out of order. Thankfully, I know which one I sent first, so I will read to you them chronologically, starting with dated August 5th. Reminder of motion to quash subpoena filed in the District of Nevada. Judge Lyman, I, Mario Armando Lavandeira Jr., known professionally as P to the E to the R to the E to the Z, H to the I to the L to the T to the O to the N, write as a non-party in Lively versus Wayfarer Studios to remind the court that last week I filed a motion to quash the subpoena served on me by counsel for Blake Lively. I just saw docket number 561 where the laughable Ezra Hudson informs you that she is submitting a motion to compel, to which I respond, WTF and LOL. I'm a clown. I own up to it. I have no respect for this judge, and you could tell by the tone of my letters. And I am behaving as outrageously as I am so that all of these supporters for Blackface Betty and everyone can clearly see that I'm acting on my own. If I was in cahoots with the Wayfarer defendants, they would tell me, get your act together. You're hurting us, or you could be hurting us, or this is not a good look, or this is not how you should behave. They're not telling me anything because they are not a part of this. I am acting independently without legal counsel. And as I've said before, I don't need legal counsel. I'm not being sued. I did nothing wrong. I've just been wrongly subpoenaed. So I said, I just saw docket number 561 where the laughable Ezra Hudson informs you that she is submitting a motion to compel, to which I respond, WTF and LOL. I am not sure what law school Miss Hudson attended, but she is serving up first-class buffoonery. If Miss Hudson wants to attempt to compel me, she has to address that matter in Nevada, the appropriate venue, where this issue has already been taken up by the district court there. I have not yet read this motion, as it has not been made public by the time I write this letter to you, but I'm very much looking forward to the laughs from Blake Lively's reprehensible attorney. If I feel the need to correct the record after reading this waste of time motion to compel filed with you in the wrong court, I will respond accordingly. XOXO. Yeah, I really said that. Again. XOXO. Mario Armando Lavandeira Jr. So, That was followed up by August 6th. Request to unseal. Judge Lyman, I, Mario Armando Lavandeira Jr., known professionally as you-know-who, write as a non-party in Lively versus Wayfarer Studios to request to unseal every item referenced in docket number 561. That was ostensibly her opposition to my motion for a protective order, where I was telling the judge that he should forbid Subpoena Serena from issuing any further subpoenas unless he approves them ahead of time. I was hoping to look out for potential future victims of Vanderkrooksen. Her lawyers had previously told the judge that she was and does intend to issue even more subpoenas. I tell the judge, Blake Lively's sham of a lawyer, Ezra Hudson, is using this court's docket as a publicist would by filing a futile motion to compel with you, even though she is very well aware, italicized, as is this court, that last week I filed a motion in Nevada to quash the fishing expedition disguised as a subpoena served on me by the zero-time Oscar-nominated plaintiff. This is all there on the docket for the record, for posterity. I love it. Las Vegas is where I live, where I work, where I was served, and where the plantation-loving actress listed in her subpoena as the place of compliance. I already notified ethically challenged Ezra of this all 5 days ago. And I also was kind enough to let this court know as well many days ago too. You're welcome. Miss Hudson is engaging in the very same behavior that she has accused Justin Baldoni's attorney, Brian Friedman, of perpetuating, and for which she filed a fiery letter of admonishment. She should look in the mirror. Take a long, hard look, Ezra. As for the contents of Miss Hudson's letter to you about me, filed on August 5th, I cannot adequately respond to anything she submitted unless all items are unsealed and I am given the full and unredacted versions. With me personally, because as this court and Miss Lively's crappy attorneys know, I am representing myself in Subpoena-gate without a lawyer, pro se. Well, if you missed it, I got all of that. I got everything that she filed under seal, unredacted. It's confidential, and I am not going to share that with anyone, obviously. I am keeping that confidential information confidential. I am definitely respecting that. I'm not insane. You might think I am, but I'm not. I finished off this letter by writing, this case and your docket has become a circus and so laughable. All the doing of Miss Lively, Miss Hudson, and the rest of her incompetent legal team. Cheerio. I'm a fool. I know. Tomfoolery, peak clown. But there's a lot of truth there that I can say, and a lawyer could not say this. and she gave me the legal right to submit this for the court's docket by dragging me into this mess. All right, up next on the docket from me is non-response to motion to compel. Hey, Judge Lyman, it's me again. I, Mario Armando Lavandeira Jr., known professionally as P to the you-know-what, write as a non-party in Lively versus Wayfarer Studios. I feel like we're starting to be pals with how much I'm writing to you. But I know you're still much friendlier with Blake Lively's counsel. This letter is not a response to the motion to compel just filed in your court by the disgraceful Ezra Hudson. This letter is a request for sanctions against Miss Hudson, which your sexy and smart self has every right to impose on that clown based on your inherent powers in this court. It pains me that I cannot respond to the motion to compel, but unless I am given the unredacted version of that and all the exhibits unredacted as well, then I am afraid this letter as a non-response will have to suffice. Obviously, I got this before our girl ethically challenged Ezra sent me everything unredacted. I only speak for myself. I have no knowledge if Mr. Baldoni or any of the Wayfarer defendants seek to move to keep sealing all the documents submitted by Miss Lively's publicity-seeking lawyer, Ezra Hudson. Additionally, while I am not responding to the motion to compel, I want to remind everyone yet again that last week I already filed in Nevada District Court a motion to quash this burdensome, unethical subpoena that is seeking my privileged and protected information as a journalist. Oh my God, Justin Baldoni just texted me. Kidding. I continue telling the judge, I am joyfully representing myself in subpoena-gate without an attorney, which I have every legal right to do. And though I haven't spent more than a minute or two preparing this letter, my research shows me that Miss Hudson is misrepresenting the truth yet again. Another reason why you should sanction that disgraceful attorney and award me attorney's fees. I have never consented to the Southern District of New York having jurisdiction over the compliance of my subpoena. My rudimentary findings are consistent with what I already know, what you know, and what all of the Van Zandt scammers legal team knows. That the appropriate venue to quash or compel this subpoena is Las Vegas. That is where I live, where I work, where I was served, and that is listed in Miss Lively's own subpoena as the place of compliance. I look forward to litigating this and winning in Nevada. The world is watching this case and your docket, Judge Lyman. Indignantly, Mario Armando Lavandeira Jr. And we're not done yet. That was followed up by August 6th, lack of service. Dear Judge Lyman, I, Mario Armando Lavandeira Jr., known professionally as write as a non-party in Lively versus Wayfarer Studios in response to your new order pertaining to me, docket number 568. This is to inform the court that I have not been served with a copy of the communication by subpoena Serena, also known as Blake Lively. I have received no materials whatsoever. Obviously, I sent this to the judge before Ezra sent me the materials, which she did. Also, this is to put in writing that I will comply with the court's protective order regarding the use of confidential discovery material. Additionally, I have no interest in responding to the plantation-loving princess's opposition to my motion for a protective order. I do not believe that this court can rule fairly. I fully expect you to once again side with Miss Lively, as I believe you are biased. Therefore, I won't waste any more time than I already have responding to her opposition for a protective order. And finally, with regards to her cross motion to compel, the court knows it has no standing on that matter. The appropriate venue to litigate the subpoena against me is in the U.S. Federal District Court of Nevada, where, as I have informed counsel and this court last week, I filed a motion to quash. That court has already taken this up, and yesterday, deplorable Ezra informed you she would be responding there. XOXO. I did it again. And spoiler alert, I sent the judge even more letters. They just haven't hit the docket yet. So, to all of the content creators that are mad at me, that are talking smack about me, thank you. Thank you. A lot has changed. I do believe that I've grown up and matured somewhat. I do things differently than I used to, but I still love attention. I love it. Negative attention and positive. I love all kinds of attention. Keep talking about me. I love that the press is starting to pick this up. Sometimes, I hate to not reveal my tricks, but there are some things that we can learn from Donald Trump. It's called outsmarting the system, media manipulation, being a few steps ahead of everybody else. Or you could say the squeaky wheel gets the grease, gets the attention, gets people noticing, talking, because the substance of my arguments, the core of what I am truly fighting for is real and really important for me, for journalists, for everyone. And if I responded like, anybody else, as you should, formally, normally, people would not be talking about this. And a lot of people are talking about this right now. All right, my fam. So as I told you, this is not the end of it. You will see, most likely, more letters from me, including, spoiler alert as well, I then had a light bulb moment and I was like, oh no, I have to file to permanently seal or permanently redact the subpoena that she issued against me, because that has my home address listed on it. It's currently filed redacted, and I believe there's a week where I can, object or not. So I previously wanted everything unsealed. Then I said, no, I definitely do not want my subpoena unsealed. I am making a move to permanently redact my address now and in any future filings. Permanently redact my address. So that is already submitted to the judge. And craziness. Legitimately crazy. Everything is crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. All right, my friend, thoughts? Let's discuss everything in the comments section.